Welcome, viewers, to this wonderful episode of I with Me and You. Today, we have a very special guest, a professional soft skills trainer, Akriti Jain. So, Akriti, I welcome you in this podcast of I with Me and You.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity and inviting me here in this podcast. You're doing a phenomenal job with I, with me, and you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Effective communication is the key to building a clarity in the communication version. So, Akriti, what I would love to know, as well as our viewers too, what exactly is the importance of soft skill training, why it is important, and how did it happen to you in your life?
That's a great question, by the way. So, the first thing, like you asked me, what is the importance of communications? Effective communication, there are two things, primary things that it deals with. Number one, it helps you effectively put a message across to the person in the way you want to and in the way that it should go across. So many times we come across this very big confusion. I did not mean to say this, or what I meant was, but I don't think you understood me. So why is this gap happening? It's not because of anything else, but two essential soft skills. One is communication skills and the other is empathetic listening. So one of the primary reasons and importance is for the message to get across, delivered in the way that it is supposed to go across. And number two is that you feel very empowered, because when you are confident that the way I'm talking, the way I'm listening, the way I'm conveying things, and the way people are basically trying to gauge me, that is getting across, delivered across in a way that it should be. That's when you feel a very good confident self, and then you also feel empowered, and then you feel like visiting that place again and again. And of course, these are the things that help you with personal and professional development.
Okay.
So, coming to how it happened to me, well, that's a very interesting story, because was just a normal commerce graduate, and then I went on to do my MBA, that too in healthcare management, which was very off, like from commerce. It was a big switch from commerce, and when I got a placement from there, it was in the corporate. It was again a very big switch, which was analytics, because I always think that I should pursue my passion and nothing else. Uh, it is what I just want to do what I like and not what I should. So that's when I started with my corporate job. Now, during this time, I was exposed to certain trainings, and because of the domain knowledge that I brought along with myself, I got this wonderful opportunity to train people in my office. And this was an MNC based out of Bangalore. So it was my first job as a fresher, and when you get that opportunity to train people who are so much senior than you, who are so much experienced than you, it gives you a sense of renewed confidence. And that's when I realized that this is actually what I love to do. So doing a normal desk job, all due respect to those who do, because it takes much more than just talking, which I do. So this is something which was much more interesting to me. And after a point of time, I just could not stick to analytics. I just could not stick to a corporate job. And then I was like, no, this is my calling. And I started applying for places. I got a lot of opportunities. And when I was in a room full of young, bright minds, I just realized that this is something I want to do all my life without stopping. And all day, all my life, I can do it without a single holiday. So that's when I took this up professionally.
So, Akriti, it was wonderful the way you explained the importance of soft skill. And I feel, the role of effective communication is equally very important because everywhere, every time we are communicating. Don't you think so?
Absolutely. That's another very important thing, because
Right.
when it comes to effective communication, if you are even on a date, all right,
Right.
and someone is telling you that, yeah, maybe I can see you next week. But what are you thinking in your head? The other person is thinking, okay, well, I have another date next week. And then it just all falls flat, because the communication has not been effective when the word generally has been used, or let's see if we can meet. That means it's not sure. So you also have to listen and pick up these hints. That's what effective communication is all about. Now, similarly, if I come to a more serious stance or a professional stance, and you are telling your manager that I will take an off next week. So your manager knows, all right, you're taking an off next week, and you tell him this on Friday. But of course, the manager is not expecting that you're taking it off on Monday and still saying next week. So if you're not going to turn up on Monday, you're supposed to say that, sir, I'm sorry to inform you last moment, but I cannot be here on Monday. I need to take it off. So that is what effective communication is, the use of words. So I would say that there are two important pillars to communication. One is the content, what you want to say, and the second is delivery, that is how you say it.
My
So
God, the way you are explaining things, I feel I am short of questions because I have to think and then speak with you. So, is it that much effective? It is, right? That means you have to think totally word by word. Is it that way the system goes?
not at all. It's not like you have to think before speaking every word.
Okay.
But what do we mean when you train yourself for effective communication? That's when you program your mind and your subconscious mind in a way that
Mhm.
you automatically make things very clear from the beginning. That's what you mean by
It's
effective
amazing,
communication.
amazing. I feel you're totally in a pattern of the body language and the part of communication which we are expressing.
That's right. So, like you came to the body language, a lot of people think that non-verbal communication is text messaging. But a very small difference between verbal communication and non-verbal communication is that non-verbal communication is devoid, absolutely devoid of any words. So, actually, the text message is a part of written communication, but not
Mhm.
non-verbal communication.
Okay.
However, like you said, the way you sit, the way you stand, the way you're using your hand gestures, the expressions on your face, the eye movement that you are doing, the eye contact, those are all a part of non-verbal communication. Now, if I just pick up and I say, why don't you do this? It's just like I'm pointing finger at you. This comes across as very derogatory. But when I say, why don't you speak next, ma'am? So this is open body language, which is much more professional, and it's an invitation that I'm giving you to please speak next.
I think this should be included in the syllabus. The way things are going, the communication, I think this is everything we need to express.
Absolutely. I mean, it is a part of the syllabus, but do you remember the time when we had environmental education in our syllabus?
Yeah, we did.
How long would you study that for?
Not exactly, don't remember to that extent,
Barely,
but
like
barely for a few period,
as compared to
maybe
English and
some,
maths,
yeah, very less, very less.
very less.
It was not markable also that way.
Exactly. So that is what happens with the communication skills, or what some institutes like to call it personality development program, PDP programs.
Mhm.
They just make it a non-credited course, and they keep it because they feel that they will need it. However, this is not given much attention, which is why a lot of Indian aspirants, when they move abroad, they have lot of self-esteem, low self-esteem issues. They're constantly comparing themselves to others, and this leads to very difficult, like isolating themselves, and even serious mental health issues, because simply because they've never been trained to speak or to put themselves across to strangers.
Rightfully thought, because I think this is very, very, very important. And that is a reason I wanted our viewers also to know the part of, soft skill training. People are acquainted with the terminology, but knowing the detailing of why it is needed, the importance of it, this is very true. One more thing I wanted to know is, can you give any, views or maybe some real life things that took place, that some communication poor communication led to some sort of misunderstandings.
Yes.
So, and how did you resolve it? That is also it.
Oh, yes, many times. See, definitely I'm a soft skill trainer, communication skills trainer, but these things are something that can happen with anyone in real life. So, as I told you, I was a fresher when I went into an MNC, and I was one of the youngest employees in my team.
Okay.
And of course, I was not experienced, and I was that high flying MBA. So I thought that, I know everything, and actually, I knew nothing. So it becomes very difficult for you to put yourself across and earn that name and that credibility over there. So my habit was, I was very young, I was like 24, 23, 24 at that point of time. So my habit was that I would always go and complain to my manager. See, I have not received this file on time. What can I do? Why are you telling me to deliver it on time? So my manager took me as like, a child who is complaining. So that meant that I was not being able to put myself across very professionally.
Okay.
So when I realized that, my team thinks of me as a child and they're not taking my feedback and my inputs very seriously, it bothered me, of course, because, I was there to make a mark for myself. And then I thought that I changed my mindset. I did some certifications on problem solving and decision making, and which is also a part of soft skills, by the way. Soft skills does not only mean communication skills, presentation skills, interpersonal skills. It also means in problem solving skills and decision making skills,
Okay.
negotiation skills,
Much
persuasion
to
skills.
it. Too much of
Too
these
much. It's a
things.
basket. So that's when I did this course, and then I changed my approach of communicating with my seniors, with my team members, with my subordinates also. And then when I took a problem to them, I would also go with the solution first approach. So that would mean I would go and I would say, yes, so, I will be working on this project till 10 p.m. tonight, but first I'm prioritizing finishing this and this. That's because, I'm yet to receive the files which are supposed to come in. So that ways I was able to communicate that the file has not come in, but at the same time, I was not sounding complaining because I'm ready to address it. So this is called the solution first approach, that when you talk about a certain problem, uh, if I come to you and I say, I got late, there's so much traffic, and I got late because there's so much rain. And
we generally do that actually.
Yeah,
but
then
actually what took place?
You look so worried. You become like, how is going to happen? I'm going to worry you as well. But then I call you and I say, so I am on my way, and I'm definitely going to reach, and we're going to finish everything. Don't worry, ma'am. But yeah, currently it's just a slight delay because of the rain. But don't worry, I'll take care of it. So don't you feel more relaxed? Don't you feel?
You're talking about the approach, right?
Yeah. So don't you feel the situation is in control?
Yeah. A particular sentence being said in a different form.
Right. Where I'm giving you the solution first, that I'm going to reach on time. We are going to finish what has been decided.
That is a question mark actually I'm having.
Right.
So whether it is going to take place, but that solution you're giving me.
Yeah.
Prior, you're giving me that particular thing.
Before I tell you the problem, I am telling you that I'm going to reach on time. We are going to finish what has been decided. Just currently, I'm running a little late. So don't worry, we're going to finish it.
Yeah, this was the exact, particular phrase which you have said.
Right.
So I understand this now.
So it just makes you feel a lot more in control of
the situation. Much relaxed also at the same time.
Right. And you're not like, she's making excuses. Everyone's late. It's raining. So you forget about these things. You don't take it as a complaint. So that's called the solution first approach, where you give the solution and then you subtly put in the problem that you are facing.
So I think you've given a lot of light on communication. When we talk of importance, we do the role of effective communication, and at the same time, the misunderstandings that used to crop up. Through effective communication, how can we resolve it?
Definitely.
So we have a flow now. I think our viewers can also very well understand the importance of soft skill, because I feel it is a necessity. It is not that we need to do. It cannot be an option. You become a complete person when your thought pattern is also, modified accordingly as per the needs of my thoughts. I think this is totally connected, isn't it?
Absolutely. So it's called the mindset approach as well, where you have to train your mind. Like if I get irritated or if I get annoyed that, oh my God, I can't make it on time, that's what I'll be conveying to you. And then I'm like, okay, fine, this is not in my hand. I will do it. I will finish what I have promised. But let me just, not shake her up with this call.
I understand. This means learning never stops.
Absolutely. I'm still learning.
You are just telling me how to give the solution, and then we complete the sentence, we pass the information.
Right.
So this is a very important note where the viewers can understand the role of effective communication and how things can be under control and we can be in a relaxed state also. So I think, thank you, Akriti. This was a wonderful session we had today. And thank you, viewers, because you have spent a very important part of communications today, the details and everything. Would please like you all to subscribe and pass your valuable comments so that we can improve more on the topics required by you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity. It was an absolute delight and an honor to be on this show.
Most welcome, and thank you once again.